Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Valerie, Surrogacy, the Black Experience, a Black woman's guide to motherhood through dealing with infertility. Thank you guys so much for your support, everybody, just for making your comments. I really appreciate it. It's really encouraging to me, just to know that you guys think this topic is important, and just to be able to talk about it. You guys are right. It's not easy. It's not something that's like, okay, yeah, let me just go over here and talk about all my personal business. But I do want to talk about it, and I think it's important, and especially for younger women. I guess that's my whole drive, just so that maybe it can help someone else, you know, older women too, like people who are going through infertility. So again, I just thank you guys for all your kind words and your encouragement. It's helping me to kind of talk about it and go on and just kind of like put out there what I want to say and the reason why and what I'm doing. So just thank you so much for that. Please continue to support this channel. That's going to be helpful, because I just want to make sure that, like, I don't want to be sitting here talking to myself, and I don't want to be like, sometimes you can sit here and say, nobody cares about this stuff, you know, what does it matter? Like, okay, whatever. But you know, I just need to know, like, if you guys are out there, it just encourages me more to talk about it, and just to, you know, just talk about it. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to start at the beginning, and like I said, I've been thinking about all this and just getting different questions in, and people are intrigued, and people are like, oh man, this is really a good topic and we should talk about it, especially in the Black community. Like, we don't talk about this, you know, and I'm not sure why. And then again, I do have some thoughts of why I think we don't, and you know, we're gonna probably get into a lot of different kind of things like that. But interestingly, like, when I was looking at infertility, like, infertility is the state of being unable to have a child after 1 year of having unprotected sex. So after 1 year, if you and your partner, you know, your husband, you know, your wife, whatever, you know, you guys are trying to have a child and it's not happening for you after a year, clinically is considered infertile, like you have infertility issues. And interestingly, in the United States, they're saying that infertility is common. I, that was shocking to me, because okay, it's common, but you don't really hear anything about it. And I get it, it is private, and people are just not going to be out there, especially couples. Nobody's going to be out there like, oh yeah, let's talk about this at the dinner table. Like, yeah, you know, this is what we're dealing with. I understand that. But to know that it is common should let us understand that it's something that people are dealing with, and it's something that we should be conscious about, that, you know, maybe this is happening with somebody else. Interestingly though, what is intriguing to me, and I think there is a purpose just for me saying all this stuff as a Black woman, is because even though it's 15% common in the US, it's like double that amount with Black people, Black women especially, double that amount. So if we're saying 15% of the women 15% of couples have challenges with infertility, when we look at the Black experience, we're almost double that amount. And so I did take some notes, so if you see me going back and forth, that's kind of like what I'm doing. So with Black women, they're saying mostly compared to white women, we're dealing more with tubal disease. We're double amount with tubal disease. We're double the amount with fibroids, and also weight is an issue, and socioeconomic situations. So it's all about the cash, right? Your social economics, especially dealing with IVF. They're saying that a lot of times, Black women, Black couples, they have challenges paying for it. Like I said the other day, infertility is a big business. It's a big business. And even though, like, with my insurance, when we first did a few rounds of IVF, my insurance paid for it, but there's still like out-of-pocket expenses that you have to pay. I think the medication alone for those, so you do cycles, I think it was probably upwards of almost like $2,000 or something crazy like that. It was expensive. The medication is expensive. So these are the challenges that Black women women have when you're talking about having children. So, it's not like you're just going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, let me go and just, go and, get IVF or go and do whatever. You may have to, your socioeconomic situations are going to be a factor. It's going to be a factor. And so they're saying a lot of times they're having troubles with basics. The other thing I know with IVF, speaking about this now that I think about it, there are some programs that you can do that that will pay for, they make donations to people towards their medications, or women who've already gone through a cycle and they were successful but they have medications left over, or women who have basically given up, they don't want to do it anymore. But anyway, people who have medications, they do have donations for that. So you can take advantage of those kind of programs. And then also, a lot of the in-house agencies have their own like credit thing. So it doesn't really affect your like credit report, that type of thing, but it's like an in-house thing where you can get like small amounts of credit to pay for stuff, and it's like really small. So those are kind of things that you can do. So tubal disease, fallopian tube blockages, things like that, that's more of a rise with Black women, and also fibroids. That's a whole nother chapter. We really still don't know why Black women have more high instances of fibroids. A lot of women I talk to and a lot of friends that I have, they have children and everything like that, but a lot of them have dealt with fibroids. A lot of them had while they were pregnant, they had a fibroid, and it was just like a big problem. So those are things that are something to think of. So I really wanted to encourage you guys, and the thing about this, these videos and what I'm talking about, it's gonna be like back and forth with different conversations, because like I said, my thing is, if I can really talk to a lot of the young women and just kind of change the cycle of having these conversations and being in touch with their body and know what's going on, that is really my goal. So just start now, guys, like wherever you are. And even if you're not a very young person but you still want to have children, how are you going to know if you don't get checked out? Like, you have to know where you are. So make sure you're going to the doctor, doing your gynecological visits, and your annual visits. I would say even more than that, do semi-annual, because at one time when I first found out I had fibroids, I went to my annual my annual visit, and he was like, that was when I found out that I had fibroids. And it was like, oh, you have fibroids, they're like the size of a pea. Oh my gosh, what do I do? It was like, well, they don't bother you, don't bother them. And how many of us heard that? They don't bother you, don't bother them. It's not cancerous, it's not this, it's not that. But then the problem is, it did bother me, because you have painful periods, cramps, different things like that. And then on top of that, by the time I checked it for the next visit, they had turned into like really big. They had gotten really big. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not even a long time, and these things grew so much. So you want to keep on top of that. The thing about infertility, time is always a factor. It's all about the time. Everything is in a cycle. And so if you guys can really just do that, check out doctors. You may not even have a gynecologist right now. You may not have even thought about it, right? From the years that we were young children, it was like, first comes love, then come marriage, then comes baby in a baby carriage. And so I think as a woman, I never thought of anything like it's gonna be a problem. I was just like, that's just the natural progression of what happens. You just automatically think that you're gonna have children, it's not gonna be a problem. But nowadays, because it is quote unquote common in this country, and more so for people of color, you guys check everything out. Check yourself out. You may not even be thinking about having kids right now. I know a lot of you guys are looking towards your profession. We are working very hard. We're doing it all, right? So we're bringing home the bacon, frying up in the pan, all that stuff. But later on, you may really think that, hey, I want to have children. And it's always good to kind of prepare yourself for that and plan out for that. So, there's a lot of things you can do. As far as, finding a gynecologist, I'm a big person on reviews. I'll go on to different websites and look at doctors. I will health grades, different things like that. Also, you can also ask friends and family. That's the best way too. Ask them, do you like your gynecologist? What's so great about that? And then don't be intimidated. If you don't like the person, you don't have to be serviced by them. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be serviced by them. Find somewhere where you can be comfortable and open and honest about those things. You want to find that out. The next thing too is, if you're just beginning that process, you definitely want to know where you are. If you may have just found out that, hey, maybe I need to go see someone, a specialist for for infertility issues, you may want to definitely look at your insurance. I know the season is coming up. This year, I think is it might have passed already. I'm not really sure, but where you pick your insurance, call the insurance companies and find out, do they cover, what do they cover for infertility? Like what is their protocol for that? Do they pay for cycles? I know my insurance, they paid for 3 cycles. Which was really good because we didn't pay out the pocket. I think at that time it was maybe 14 grand. But they paid most of that, but then we still had to pay for the medication. And like I said, the medication is probably it could be almost up to $2,000 or, somewhere around there. I think it was $1,015, something like that. But what I'm trying to say is that there's costs that are involved with that. So, choose your insurance that will cover the most. I know, like I said, my insurance covered 3 rounds, but there was another insurance that I was like, oh man, I wish I had this one. But I think they covered you for more than that. It was more than 3 times. I forgot what it was, but it was basically, it covered a lot of it. I don't want to say the name of the insurance company because I don't remember, but you can just call different ones and know which ones that you can choose. So I would just start there, just being able to have a plan, knowing what's against you, right? When you're having you're in this, in this experience, you have to know what you're up against, and you have to know what tools and what things you can use. I wish I would have knew a long time ago when I was doing everything, because I kind of fell into it. You learn something and you learn because the experience, that's the worst way to learn sometimes. Sometimes you can see what other people are doing, and that way the mistakes that I've made and the things that I would have done differently, you can benefit from that and from other people. So if you guys have other also links and information about people that offer those services or anything that we're talking about, please add them. Also, you can add them in the comment sections. That way it'll be helpful for other people. So yeah, I'm glad we're talking about this. I really pray that just for our younger generation, that you guys will have more of a healthy outlook and an outcome, so that when you heard about auntie and auntie them and mama them and all them whatever stuff like that, you can understand the things that people went through. And okay, when you get fibroids, what does that mean? Okay, I'm not just gonna say, oh, okay, it's okay, leave it alone. No, we need to find out what's going on. We need to be proactive. So my prayer really and my hope is that it will inspire other people to become more proactive. Younger women, to open your voices and have these conversations, own it, you know what I'm saying? And it's nothing to be ashamed about. It's nothing to be, fearful about. Know that you're not by yourself. Like I said, know that you're not the only person that's going through it. Definitely don't want to put your business out there, because unfortunately people will, try to use that against you. And at the same time too, if you're not comfortable in knowing what's going on, you could be hurt by that. So you want to use wisdom in that sense. But overall, guys, check it out. See where you at. See what your insurance covers. Just know, just start there. So anyway, that's all I have for right now. I'm gonna keep doing more videos. I'm just gonna keep going, guys, because I just it's kind of encouraging me just to kind of keep going, because otherwise I'm like, you know what, I don't think this is important. Nobody's listening to what I'm saying. ain't nobody want to hear this. Ain't nobody got time for that, you know. But then I keep hearing other people say no, and it's opening up other conversations just with women and just different kinds of things. So I'm hoping that it will bring peace to a lot of things for a lot of people, and I hope that it will bring more so information and just giving you guys some tools for your tool belt, right? And then, like I said, for even the younger generation, that they would have a guide of things that they can do and the things that they should be doing and things like that. So anyway, guys, it was so nice talking to you again. Thank you so much. Keep sending me some feedback. Just let me know, you know, this is going in the right direction. I'm going to try to give as much information and resources as I can. Like I said, I'm going to start putting some things in the link that you guys want to know. I understand that there are people that, you know, may watch videos and things like that, but they are still not wanting to like show themselves of what's going on, that they're dealing with that. That's understandable. I understand. But, you know, as long as, that's why I said I want to put some information in the links for you guys, and just know, you know, you're not by yourself, and just know that, you know, it's going to be okay. It's really going to be okay. So I love you guys. I really do. And that's why I'm doing this. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, y'all. Please like the channel. Please put on your notification. I'm trying to remember all the stuff you have to say, right? Not that you have to say, but I just do want to grow the channel, and I do want to have a platform where we can talk about these things. So if you guys support the channel and if you share the stuff, then maybe other people will see it, especially people that need it. That's the whole point. And if you have anything to share, you can add that as well. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I just will see you guys soon, and love and light.